economy has been reeling from one of the longest and strictest COVID-19 lockdowns in the world. It started in the middle of March and has only been eased in some areas since then, leaving many jobless and hungry. Already, more than 7 million Filipinos have lost their jobs, and the Department of Labor and Employment says another 4 million workers may lose their jobs by the end of this year. They were once known as the Philippines' king of the road. Manila's iconic jeepneys, coated in wild colors and outfitted with roaring diesel engines. But even the mighty fall. Jeepneys have been lying idle since mid-March as the country went into lockdown due to COVID-19, along with all other modes of public transportation. Without their only source of income, drivers went back to the streets not as kings, but as beggars. They carry signs like this, which say they need help.
Tinanggal na po namin ng kahihiyan, kaysa mamatay naman kami sa gutom. Kaya halos ang mga hari ng kalsada ngayon, ang tawag sa amin, hari ng palimos na raw daw. Hanggang kailan kaya kami mag-aantay yung pangako nila na ibabalik kami sa kalsada. Yun lang panawagan po namin sana. Kasi halos, di ka makatulog sa gabi kung saan ka kukuha ng ilaw, kuryente, at lalo-lalo na nangungupahan pa. Paano kung ang minupahan mo hindi nakakaintindi? Palalayasin ka. Saan kayo matutulog? Sa kalsada rin.
When the country gradually eased its quarantine protocols in late June, the government prioritized modern jeepneys to ply the roads instead of traditional ones. These modern jeepneys are similar to mini buses, and they carry more passengers than traditional jeepneys. They are also equipped with air conditioning and contactless payment system.
Mas safe nga yung traditional kasi yung air nanggaling sa labas. Hindi na-occupy sa loob katulad dito. So mas hindi ako komportable pag kulob yung lugar.
Only 6,000 jeepneys deemed roadworthy were eventually allowed to go back to the streets, a fraction of the 70,000 jeepneys around the capital. Even so, there are new restrictions. Jeepneys can only carry up to 10 passengers now and can pick up riders along the route. So after being on the road for 8 hours, Vivencio Soreno has only earned less than $10.
Hanggang ngayon, di pa ako nananghalian kasi nagtitipid. Dati, ganitong oras, meron na akong 2,000, gano'n. Ngayon, wala na. Hindi ko nga alam kung anong gagawin nito, kulang pa to sa krudo.
Still, Vivencio feels lucky to have his job back compared to most jeepney drivers who are still out on the streets begging for help. And they are unlikely to get back on the roads anytime soon. Under the government's public utility modernization program, high-emission jeepneys will be replaced with environment-friendly ones.
COVID or no COVID, no? This modernization program continues to be implemented. Okay, it just so happened that we have to recalibrate the manner by which we will implement the modernization program during this time of pandemic. But it doesn't mean that we're going to stop.
The Transportation Department has said they follow a hierarchy of transport, which gives priority to vehicles that can carry more passengers. Jeepneys are at the bottom of the list. With the government bent on pursuing its modernization program, it could soon be the end of the road for Manila's old jeepneys. Drivers and operators have been given until the end of the year to comply or risk having their franchise revoked. They will be replaced by well-funded corporations who can afford to buy the expensive and modern jeepneys, stripping thousands of jeepney drivers of their livelihoods. At roughly $24,000 apiece, modern jeepneys are beyond the reach of low-income drivers, even if the government fulfills its promise of subsidizing a portion of the cost. Meanwhile, jeepney driver Christopher is still begging for alms on the streets. He says he needs to find another job soon. But with economic crisis, employment is scarce. His only hope now is that someone